Society. It's August 13th, 2018, and this is Mondays with Bev and Paul. And guess what? My name's Paul.
And my name is Bev.
And we are taking you live to our center in Tucson, Arizona. There's the sign above our place. There's our address, 5634 East Pima Street. We are live right here today.
We are. Are we alive?
We are alive. And so here we are. This is the outside, and we are going to take you inside to our wonderful center. How? Right there.
Now.
There we go.
Oh,
whoops. There. We get a little light.
I know.
Good morning, everybody. This is another Monday, and we're going to have a great show today.
I think we
have a good question today. How does BioTouch change our lives? So, if you have anything to say about that, you can post that to our Facebook live stream here, and we'll try to address it too.
Yeah, right.
These shows are designed to teach you BioTouch. We just want to get this into the families. It's also designed to go over a part of our manual or the book by Deborah Schildhouse.
Yes, and as we just mentioned, if you want to have a conversation with us, ask us a question, make a comment, we would love to have an interchange with you, and also to always keep you updated on what's going on with our certified practitioners around the world.
Yes, and we have two things. First one, Chetna had a class with a woman, and I can't remember her name. I wrote it somewhere. Sandra, I think, was her name.
Oh.
And so she had a practitioner training. So congratulations
Wonderful.
to Chetna and Sandra.
Sandra, yes.
And
one more practitioner on the planet.
There we go. And we also have our dear certified practitioner instructor from Germany, Michaela, who is on a vacation with her family and has taken the German book to all these wonderful places.
My goodness.
And she's been really funny because she'll send us pictures and say, okay, where am I?
Guess where I'm at.
So we have her, that's actually the Parliament building in England.
In London.
Yeah, I finally figured that out, looking it up. And then we have the YWCA Hotel, I guess, I don't know what else. That must be a resident facility or something.
Oh, right.
That's in Vancouver. And then that's her daughter and her husband on Long Island in Vancouver Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Long Island, Vancouver, Island, I think.
Oh, how beautiful.
So there it is, and that's the German book.
That's great.
Taken along with her.
Thank you, Michaela.
I know, wonderful shots.
Yes.
So where in the world is BioTouch? We hope you'll take a picture of the manual or the book and send it to us so we can post it. And where in the world is BioTouch?
Yep. That'd be great.
So that's that part of it. And so again, let's go to the question of the day. We have some really nice things to talk about. How does BioTouch change our lives? And first thing we want to do, I think we'll read a piece, the preface from the manual. Here is our manual. You can get that online, justtouch.com, and we'll send you a copy of it in hard copy, and you can also get it in ebook version by just becoming a member. So we're going to read from the preface.
Right, just a short little paragraph, and it says, any aspect of the body, when out of harmony, manifests a characteristic disorder, which in turn involves other parts of the body that are dependent on its proper functioning. Thus arises the need for a system that addresses the body and possesses the capacity to encourage it toward healing itself and restoring harmony. This is the purpose of the procedures presented in this manual. Wow. That's pretty good. Well, the first thing I thought about when we were talking, when I was just reading that, is because we've been speaking this lately, that BioTouch is a holistic approach to healing. And that paragraph just reminded me that in all of the parts in the body, it makes up one whole integrated process. So, of course, when one part of us is out of balance or out of harmony, then it affects everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a hard one to understand.
I know.
And and for most of us, I think, well, talk about myself. We're sound asleep to that holistic integration of the body and the mind and this whatever this whole thing is that we're asleep to. We just sort of our whole day bump into things. We talk to people, but we're not really hearing what we're saying. We're not aware of how the body's functioning. We're not even aware. We're aware of one pain, one place, but then not how it's connected to something else. And
It almost seems like, and I'll just use my own personal experience, that at some level, we seem to be separated from the body. And when something's going on, it's almost like we're like looking on. We're not participating, which you have to bring that presence of mind, which kind of brings us to our question. So when we talk about change and that BioTouch can change is just the result of something. It's the result of making choices, different choices through self-awareness, which is what we really stress in the power of BioTouch. So what happens ultimately when we start to make different choices, we eventually will change our lives, our experience called a life.
and that's really the power that we always talk about with BioTouch is it brings you, well, we say self-awareness, and it seems to open us up to the possibilities of other choices. It lets us listen to our body of what we need. We know more than anything else what this body needs. And then it gives us the strength and the courage to act on what we need.
Oh,
That's the key there.
That's the key.
That make that different choice to make. We can say, "Oh, choose differently," but a lot of times there's a lot of fear in that.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're afraid of our bodies.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. It's almost like we're separated from our bodies because we haven't been taught that you are the body. All those wonderful parts of us that are supposed to be in a holistic, harmonizing dance have been separated from each other. That's, by the way, what that little ego will do, right? But when we seriously begin to understand that this is an experience, this is a whole outplay of integration, our minds, our emotions, all those parts of ourselves are to become inclusively unified into a whole. And then the whole quality of our lives can change.
Right. And it's key for us to tell all of us about how important that is to work with our standard healthcare practices that we do. This is not something, as we talked about, that's all by itself out there. You're not doing this as an alternative. It is integrative. It's holistic. It's to be used with standard care. So it gives us a sense of when all that happens in that dance. I like the dance. It reminds me of Samuel Lewis, who used to teach Sufi dancing in San Francisco. Used to go, the dance is the way of life. The dance is the sway of life. And I'm like, yeah, this whole body getting better, it's a dance, it's a movement. And when you get into that, you know what step to take next.
Ralph Bloom says, let the winds of heaven dance within you and around you and with others.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so BioTouch is with others. That's the key. It's a dance. We call it a healing technique, but I think we could call it a dance. It's a movement. You do that greeting to someone. It's a dance, and you just let your fingers dance and do the different
points. Didn't you say BioTouch was an art form?
Art form, yeah.
Dance is an art form. I like that. Hey,
we're going.
We're getting self-awareness all the time.
So, and it doesn't take you having to know about the body or to have to, know about healing work or to perceive energy fields. It's just about doing it. It's not, you can't change by conscious action. But if you just let it unfold, you let the steps come, let the points come, changes will happen. And you sort of wake up and go, wow, I'm different today than I was yesterday.
I know. Yes, that's the self-awareness. The will to experience something different is what BioTouch encourages and supports for all of us. Because really, if you think about it, the only gift we've all been given is the gift of choice, to make different choices. We've got to remember that we've always been able to choose how we want to experience life. We've always been empowered in that, and it's time for us to remember that. That's one of the gifts of BioTouch. It truly is a gift for that.
And that doesn't mean for all of us too that these choices are easy. I mean, and what BioTouch helps, like for those of us who've had trauma and we're locked into trauma responses, it's not about saying, oh, I'm not going to have that, because we don't even know what the response is.
Oh, right.
The choice that's allowed to happen, as you're saying, is when you get the BioTouch, what it appears to happen is these locked in memories or whatever's in there unfold and they just sort of dissipate. It's not about having to consciously figure things out, and I've seen that over and over. I remember working on a woman once, and it was at a rehab community, and we worked with her, and all of a sudden she started working on her shoulder, and she started crying and bawling. All of a sudden she realized how when she was raped as a young girl, they had kicked her here and stomped on her. Wow. And she had never remembered that. And so all of a sudden she was remembering that. She was able to share that with her group and healed it. And pretty soon that pain in her shoulder was gone.
Well, it's all locked in the body, as we keep saying, isn't it?
So her choice of being able to share something that for so long was hidden away and afraid to be exposed was amazing.
To let it go and to face it. And it is fear. Change, when that happens, it brings a sense of fear to us because it's the unknown, right? The unknown.
And the conflict of these choices. So I got two examples I wanted to share. One is a woman who had breast cancer, and it was pretty much eating her breast. And the conflict, what do I do? All the doctors take care of it. The families, oh, come on, we're going to fight it, And she came down, she lived in Colorado, northwest part, northeast or something, came down to the center and got worked on every day for a week, twice a day for a week or so. And through that was able to decide, I'm not going to do anything. Oh. And it actually started to heal up a little. And lo and behold, she did die of cancer. But it was her choice to say, I'm not going to do intervention. I'm just going to do BioTouch. And on the other end of the spectrum, we had this man who had throat cancer, basically was strangling. I mean, he would many times call us up and couldn't breathe, and we'd rush over there and do BioTouch, and his passageway would open and he could breathe again. And lo and behold, one day he decided, it's time for intervention. And he was very adamant against it. And he went in for intervention. They put a trach in, did chemotherapy. Within a few months, he was actually the number one racquetball player in Hawaii, senior racquetball player. Wow. And got better, even with this trach, and was feeding himself through the tube. And that was his choice, was to get the intervention. So for us, it's important to be neutral. Just do the technique. Yes. It's not about any advice. We don't diagnose. We don't recommend. But we do know that if people get BioTouch, they're empowered to, as you said, choose differently.
Yeah, choose for themselves. Yes. And it's such an amazing gift.
So let's teach you some more BioTouch, and we'll come back to this in a minute. And today we're going to teach you just the basic stress set. And so, again, here's our manual, and here's the sets.
The stress set may be used to address any manifestation of physical, emotional, or mental stress, as well as anxiety and shingles. Hold at X, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone. It is the same as greeting point 1. Then with the other hand touch points 1 and 2, which are the same points as in the heart set. These points are found by imagining a line running from the notch at the top of the breastbone to a place on the left breast where the nipple would be on a youth. Divide this imaginary line into thirds. Point 1 is at the top of the first third. Point 2 is at the top of the second third. These points may be touched repeatedly, and remember to touch each point for at least 6 to 8 seconds.
Very simple.
Every time I see something from the DVD, I'm thinking, oh gosh, it really is a simple technique.
It's so simple. It's interesting. I've been making podcasts from our videos, so just the voice podcast, and I'm like, oh, but I don't know about where we have the training part if it'll work. But I was listening to it. The words are perfect. You don't even need to visualize it because the words describe where the points are. That's how simple this is.
That's why we always encourage people to learn the language, because you can share BioTouch with anybody over the phone and tell them exactly where to go to touch those points.
So let BioTouch change your life.
Yes, it's time.
It's time. And our only job is to continually offer this to you and to give you opportunities to learn it. So the opportunity first, you can go online, download the first 10 pages for free, and that'll give you at least the greeting. And then you can become a member, download the whole manual DVD, have it right there on your phone, on your iPad, whatever. It has links to the video, the ebook version of it. Or if you want, you need a hard copy, send us an email or go online to our website. There's a place there that says Learning Materials, and you can purchase that. It's $29.95 plus shipping, I think. So for $35, you got the whole thing.
Right.
And then we can walk you through it on a phone if you have questions or you're not confident enough. People always say, I don't feel really confident.
Yeah.
Don't need confidence. You just do it.
I know. No, that's part of the simplicity challenge that we have, right? Because you came back here, you're here to be able to do BioTouch, period.
Yes, that's it. So our wonderful opportunity is just to be with you here every Monday, and we're available office at justtouch.com. Justtouch.com, as you can see right there, is our website, and we're actually transforming a new one. Simpler, easier to navigate.
I'm so excited. Yes. It's going to be wonderful.
Michael's helping us do a great job on that.
It is.
So, otherwise, Around the World with BioTouch, there it is. We hope that you have read the book by Deborah Schildhouse. And if you have, please send us a picture of it wherever you reside. BioTouch, Healing with the Power in Our Fingertips. And if you have the manual and would just like to take a photo, that would be great too. And because it's just, there we are in Colorado.
Yes.
So, again, another Monday.
Another Monday.
Thank you, Bev.
Thank you, Paul. And thank you for joining us. And, as always, have a glorious week.
Bye-bye.
From all around to the sun, they come here